Sawubona, ngiyakwamukela ku-IsiZulu Lesson. I wish to welcome you to IsiZulu Lessons, and I do hope that you are benefiting from these recorded lessons. Okay, but if you have any question or questions that you would want to ask regarding this lesson that you're going to hear today, you may send your question or questions to tutoring@bonibooks.co.za. Isifundo sakho sanamhla usethulelwa nguTisha F. Your lesson today is brought to you by Tisha F. What is our topic for today? Our topic for today is still Ukunciphisa. Ukunciphisa. Okay, we're still doing diminutives. Okay, we're still continuing with the diminutives as we started with in the previous lessons. Okay, what is it that we're going to learn today about Ukunciphisa? We are going to look at the sound changes. Okay, we're continuing with the sound changes, continuing on the sound changes that we've seen on lesson on the previous lesson. Okay, so today these are the sounds that we are going to look. So we are going to continue. Sizoqhubeka, so we will continue nokubuka lemisindo ukuze sikwazi ukubona ukuthi how do we change these sounds. Okay, the sounds that we are going to talk about today is your mpo and your nti. The mpo and the nti that will change into nche. Okay, let's look at these sentences. Okay, let's go to sentence number 1. Umama uzothenga umpompi kusasa. Umama uzothenga umpompi. There is our mpo, the mpompi. So when we make it diminutives, a diminutive, what do? We change that mpo into nche. Okay, so umama uzothenga umpontshana kusasa. Umama uzothenga umpontshana kusasa. Okay, so we're saying these two sounds, the mpo and the nche, both of them, they change into nche. So let's go on to the next sentence that we have there. Lo muntu ucela amasenti njalo. Lo muntu ucela amasenti njalo. Okay, amasenti, nti is going to change into nche. Lo muntu ucela amasentshana njalo. Okay, let's move on now to the next sounds and see how they change to be. Okay, let's look at this sound now. These two sounds that we have now. We have the mbo and the ndre. The mbo and the ndre. The mbo and the ndre, they change into nje. Nje. Okay, let's look at the sentence that I have here. Isithombe sakhe sihle ngempela. Isithombe, there is our mbo. Sakhe sihle ngempela. So when we change this into a diminutive, we are going to say isithonjana sakhe sihle ngempela. You are going to remember that we also look at the last vowel of the noun. Okay, what is the last vowel? What does it take, as we've said? Is it ana? Is it ene? Is it wene? Okay, so if we say isithombe, because this one ends in an e, we are going to say isithonjana, isithombo. We said we also look at these sounds before the last vowel, isithombe, and we say isithonjana. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next sentence, it says ikhanda lengane yakhe likhulu. Ikhanda, this is our noun. Okay, remember we said when we make diminutives, we look at the nouns. Okay, this is our noun that we're concentrating on. Ikhanda, nda is going to change into nja. This ikhanjana lengane yakhe likhulu. So meaning both umbo nondre, they change into nje. And let's go on now to the next sounds that we also have. We have these two sounds again. We have the m and n. We call them, these are the nasals. Okay, the m and the n. Omankankane, we call them the nasals. So the mo will change into nya. Umlomo, vala umlomo wako. Then umvala umlonyana wako. So you're making the mouth to be small. Close your small mouth. Okay, vala umlonyana wako. And again, if you move on to this sentence, ingane yakhe iyasithanda isikole. And then because of this na, it's going to change into nya. We say inganyana yakhe iyasithanda isikole. I've tried to group these sounds so that it's easier for you to remember. So when you look at these sounds, they are grouped, and then you know what sound do they change into B. Okay, let's go on now to look at the next sound that we have here. What is our next sound? What are the next sounds that we have? The two next sounds that we have here are the bo and the d. Bo and the d, they will change into ja, ja. Okay, if we look at this sentence now that I have here for you, umama ugibele isikepe esibomvu. So we are going to say umama ugibele isikejana esibomvu. Ubo changes into j, isikejana. And again, let's look at this next sound that we have spoken about here, because we have said the d and the bo, they both change into j. So bazomthengela ikhadi ngoba uyagula. Bazomthengela ikhajana ngoba uyagula. The da changes into ja. Okay, so these are the sounds that do change from what they are to be other different sounds altogether. And our last sound that I think we have in the sounds that will change is the sound l, 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 la. The sound l changes into la. The la changes into la. I want you to note that in this sound, I'm hoping that your teachers will help you in this one. That not all the sounds, not all the l will change into l. Okay, but I'm hoping that your teachers will help into that to see which ones that do not change. I'm sure you all know that for every language there will always be exceptions to the rules. Okay, the rules that we're making here is just to help you to master these things and to make sure, but there will always be exceptions, because even in English we do have exceptions. So let's go to this first sentence that we have here. The first sentence here is a uba basebenza kanzima ngoba bafuna imali here. Okay, mali basebenza kanzima ngoba bafuna imadlana. They need a little bit of money. Imadlana. Okay, the next sentence that I have here for you, kufanele ayeke uvalo olungaka. Kufanele ayeke uvadlwana olungaka. L changes into l. So I'm hoping now you have seen all the sounds. We have covered all the sounds that we have in IsiZulu that will change when you make the diminutives. Now what I've done here for you is to group them so as to help you to see which sounds change into be what. Okay, so I've got here the mpo and the nt changing into nch. Okay, this is just your summary. And the next one is the mbu and the nj. These are the sounds that we have already covered. Mbu and the nj uzoshintsha abe nje, nje. Okay, and then what about the next ones? The next ones we said we have no n. Bona bazoshintsha babo unye, nye. Okay, ne nonye, umunwe, umunywana. Okay, inkomo, inkonyana. Okay, no bo, no d. Bazoshintsha babe uj, ubo, no d. Ibodi, ibojana. Okay, isigubhu, isigujana. Bo will change into j. So I've grouped them. I'm trying to help you to make things easier for you so that we can see which sounds change into be what. The sound changes into be what. Okay, the last one is the l that we spoke about. L that changes into l. Okay, l which changes into l. Ingalo. If we say ingalo, ingadlwana. Okay. Umthwalo, okay, umthwadlana, isihlalo, isihladlwana. Okay, those are the sounds that change in IsiZulu. I want you to take your time, go over it, go to the previous lesson as well, which is your lesson 6, and make sure that you try to find a way of understanding them and of grouping them in a way that is going to make it easier for you to remember. But basically, these are the sounds that will change when you do the diminutives. Okay, now it's our working time. Okay, nangu umsebenzi wenu. Okay, I've got this exercise for you that I want you to go through. Okay, think about what we have been doing now. Okay, I've tried to cover only the sound that we have seen in this lesson. I did not cover the previous ones. Okay, let's look at the first sentence. It says ngizothenga isikhwama sesikole. Isikhwama. Okay. Usisi wakhe unalo ithemba. Ithemba. Okay. So you look at the sound. What sound do we have before the last vowel? Okay, if it's the sound that changes, then you change it. But if it's the sound that doesn't change, and then you work accordingly. And again, remember to look at the last vowel, so that you change it according to our first lesson that we had with you of the diminutives, and how we form the diminutives, that you look at the last vowel. Okay. Isifundo sanamuhla angisithandi. This is your sentence number 5. Isifundo. And the sentence number 6, umkhonto kashaka wawumkhulu. Uyasithanda, sentence number 6, uyasithanda isipuni esincane. Ngingasithola isikhala sokufunda. Isikhala. Usipho uyikhonzile impimpi kababa. Grade 10 ubanga umsindo ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ibhodi labo lincane kakhulu. Just want you to relax. Don't pressure yourself, Think about what we have done in this lesson. Try and see if you can do them on your own. And don't go back to your notes. I always insist that you don't have to go back to your notes at this stage. But if you go through this on your own, it's going to help you to see how much you understood during this lesson. Okay, once you're done, then what do? You go to the next page. Okay, the next slide, what does it have? It has your answers. It's just to help you to make sure what you have done, if it's correct, and if it's not a train smash. You can still go back, look at how you've done it, and look at the problems that you had. Look at the sounds that are giving you a problem. Go through them, revise them, understand them. And yeah, I hope these lessons are helping, and I would really appreciate your comments, how you look at the lessons, or maybe the things that you would love us to cover in these lessons that we haven't covered yet. Okay, ngiyabonga. Okay.